Government censorship of the media. It's an issue that has historically threatened the autonomy of citizens of countries throughout the world. In some places, it's even made the running of an efficient democracy virtually impossible. Governments tend to use censorship to gain, regain, or retain control of people. For instance, in Russia, President Vladimir Putin was elected in 2000. He uses censorship to deflect criticism from his war efforts. In 2000, not only 2 months after he was elected, he almost immediately faced a severe crisis in the sinking of the submarine Kursk. All 118 people on board were killed. He was advised to immediately return to Russia and deal with the issue. Unfortunately, he decided to remain on vacation with his family for almost a week. Upon his return home, he faced a lot of criticism from the media. To regain the respect and essentially the control of the people, he basically had to shut down the media. Today in Russia, the freedom of speech and freedom of the press, two things that are extremely important and tend to stimulate democracy, are distant ideals in Russia. The common people, and even sometimes members of the government, don't get to experience them. When one person controls something so powerful, entire populations can be withheld information about their leaders and about the countries they live in and what's going on right outside their homes. But an unbalance of power isn't the only issue that comes from government censorship of the media. At certain times it can lead to political instability and even at times outright violence. Like in China during the reign of Mao Zedong, government censorship and abuses of the media and communication were proliferate, and at many times they led to peasant revolts and uprisings. But nowhere is this more been felt than in countries in Africa. Many of you have heard of the incident in Rwanda. Over 800,000 people lost their lives in that massacre. What many of you may not know, however, is the entire massacre was organized by a mass takeover of the media of one group of people. Just for a brief historical background, the division between the Hutu and the Tutsi people was originally put forth by the Dutch when they colonized Rwanda. And they picked certain people to rule the country. Those people were chosen based on the darkness of their skin and other physical characteristics, and they were called the Tutsi people. The Hutu people were the ones that were not chosen to rule, and they were considered inferior. However, when the Dutch left Rwanda during the decolonization process, they left the Hutu people in charge. And this created severe racial tensions between the Hutu and the Tutsi people throughout history, and when the Hutu people managed to take control of the radio, which was at the time a fairly new invention and was really the only media they had, they called for a complete annihilation of the Tutsi race. Like I said, over 800,000 people lost their lives. The media is an extremely powerful institution. If we allow one person to take control of it, they can manipulate the people and have success, but it can be success that's detrimental to society. As Nandan Nilekani said, the society which is the most open to diversity, concepts, and competitive edge wins. The society that relies on one foundation to completely control communication crumbles. Thank you.